Hello. Okay, we're gonna do our PMD competition makeup look. We are gonna start with eyeshadow. So we have our eyeshadow palette, and then you're gonna prime your lids, or your kids' lids. I'm doing it all myself because my kid's at school still. So whatever type of primer you have, put it on. You can put, if it's a regular primer, put it all over. If it's an eyeshadow primer, put it just on your lids. And then you're gonna go in with our first color, which is like our camely color. And you are going to put that all in the crease of the lids. In that corner, all the way to the other corner, right where you see like the crease, that's where you're gonna put it. And it's not gonna look good at first. You gotta trust the process, okay? It doesn't have to be perfect because we're gonna blend like crazy after we get all the colors on there. So you just go right in that crease. You can blend it up a little bit because you're gonna put other colors. Okay, now, like I said, it doesn't have to look perfect. Trust the process. So then you're gonna go in with your darker color with a little bit of a smaller, so we used a bigger brush for that, we're gonna use a little bit of a smaller brush. So you wanna do the corners like a V shape, right on that outer corner. So you wanna go on the crease and go up, take it up, and then you wanna go on the corner like this. And it doesn't have to be perfect because we're gonna blend. And not only are we gonna blend, but we can also clean it up with some concealer down here if needed. So we're gonna do the same thing on the other side. It's harder for me to do this eye because I'm kind of blind in my left eye. So I can't see what I'm doing. And you can keep adding to make it as dark as you want. And then, okay, it's not perfect, right? I'm telling you, trust the process. Trust the process. So then we're gonna do our little cut crease. Where is my concealer brush? Okay, so you're gonna get a little like flattened brush, concealer brush. You're gonna get your light colored concealer, or if you don't have concealer, you can just use your foundation. It's mainly just to make it so that the eyeshadow sticks right there in that inner corner. So you don't want to go all the way to the crease. You want to stick it just directly on the lid. And you want to go about halfway over, not all the way over. And then you're going to get the pinky color. And you can also mix it with your highlighter if you want it to be a little bit more shimmery. So I'm going to do the pinky color first and then go on top of it with the shimmer. This I'm going to use to blend, so I'm not going to use that. Okay, so we're going to get that pink color. You're going to just dab that on. Once again, it doesn't have to be perfect because we're going to blend it. You're going to trust the process. See how that just makes it a little more dramatic? And then I'm going to go in with my highlighter just to make it a little more shimmery. And put the highlighter on top of that. Okay, still looking crazy, right? So now you're gonna get like a blending brush and you're gonna take your lighter color and you're gonna go under your brows. Mine is not the exact same color as yours, but that's okay, you guys get the picture. Okay, and then we're gonna use this brush to kind of blend. And you can always go back in and add more of that dark color if you need to. But we're gonna blend that top shadow a little bit. See, I need more dark. And you can use like a fluffier brush to do the dark too when you're blending if you need to add more. To that little V. And then you're just going to kind of blend it up into that top color. I feel like I need more light. There we go. So you're gonna just keep blending it until it looks the way you want it to look. You can see like my literal brow bone. So it looks a little bit lighter right there, but that's like a shadow. Okay, so then once you've got that to your desired blend, you can blend it into that middle color a little bit too. And then we're gonna go in and we're gonna do our foundation and concealer next. So I like to use this palette. You can use whatever, you don't have to do the highlight. You wanna highlight a little bit under the eyes, the nose. This is if you're contouring, like I said, you don't have to contour. But it definitely makes that like powdered contour stand out a little bit. Don't mind me getting it on my brows. And then you're gonna highlight your chin, your upper lip, down here. And then you're gonna go in with the darker color and you're gonna do it in those same places where you're gonna put your powder contour. So around your forehead, your cheekbones, and then if you want to snatch the nose, snatch the nose. And then you can also put a little bit right here. Gonna make the lips look a little bit poutier. Then we're gonna go in with our regular foundation color. And we're gonna put that all over in all the spots where you don't already have the contour. If you don't have the cream contour, just skip this step, fast forward, and move on to the next. So if you don't have the cream contour, just go ahead and do your regular foundation. If you have the wax-based palette, it helps if you warm it up with your finger like you saw me do. And then put it directly on, and then you rub your brush in it a little bit, and then you start your blending. You can also snatch the jawline with that darker color, or you can just do it with the powder. It's up to your personal preference. And like I said, if your eyeshadow needs cleaning up, you can use the brush and clean up a little bit on those edges, and that's going to give you a nice clean eyeshadow look. And you're just gonna blend, blend, blend. Once you get blended, you're gonna do your powder contours. Okay. And the more you do this, the easier it's gonna get, so don't panic. Pause this if you need to pause it. Okay. Now, we're gonna go in with our powder contour. I call this my ice cream palette, chocolate, strawberry, vanilla. So we're gonna go in with your chocolate color first. And also, like, you can do this darker and then blend. because you want it to be dramatic so that you can see it from the stage. So I like to kind of pat it, and then I'll go back through and blend it. Okay, see, it looks drama, right? It looks ridiculous, but you're gonna blend all that and blend it all out. So then once it's all on there, you can get whatever brush you're using. I like to use usually a fluffier brush, but you can use whatever you want. And make sure you always blend your foundation and your contour and everything down onto your neck. And then if needed, you can go back in with a little bit more of that highlight on your nose. And then you're gonna do your blush. I like to do the translucent powder first and then blush, but you can do either way you prefer. So my next step, I'm gonna go in with this translucent powder, the white one, and then put it all over. If you have a different powder for your kids, feel free to use whatever it is you have. I just prefer this translucent. It stays really well. This makeup, I'll do it on Penny at 4 o'clock in the morning, and it'll still be on at 7 p.m. Sometimes I have to touch up under her eyes and around her lips, depending on how the day goes and if she cries or not. But stays on really well. So after you do all your translucent, you're gonna get your blush. Darker is fine. You want it to be dark, you want it to stand out. So you want to get a good generous amount of blush. I'll also tap it on and then blend it, just like I did with that bronzer. I feel like it's better to get the product right on the spots where you want it and then blend it, especially when you're going for like a dramatic look. Okay. And then you can also go back in with your bronzer if you need to and blend that bronzer kind of up into the blush. You can also use your translucent and kind of blend that as well. And then we're gonna go in. So depending on what product you have, I like to use a brush for eyebrows. So I use a brush and I use some of my setting spray. I spray it into the cap, get it wet. And I usually use this color on Penny. It looks light, but when you put it on, it goes on pretty well. So you're just gonna shape the brow. Depending on the kid, sometimes so you wanna get the brush wet and then dip it in the powder. And you're gonna make like a liquid eyeshadow. You wanna fill in the brow, but you don't want to completely fill in this part. So that part you want to kind of blend. So you do a little bit on the bottom, and then you take your spoolie brush and you brush it, and it'll kind of give you that ombre brow, like make it look a little more natural. So once you get the brows on, you can again use your concealer to clean it up if you need to, and just kind of carve those brows out.